Welcome to video number 6, SQL reporting service. Today we are going to create a report which is a wizard base and using a Visual Studio, right? So I'm gonna start off my Visual Studio. I'm gonna run it as an administrator. As soon as the Visual Studio opens, we start making the reports, right? So I just don't understand why my Visual Studio is very slow. I mean all the times. So I hope it's ready now. So file, new project, and alright, so I'm gonna choose, there are plenty of options are available, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna choose the business intelligent projects only because that's the project I'm interested in. And as you can see, I have a folder named Jigsaw under which my report goes. So I'm gonna call this report as I don't know, demo reports. So that would be the name of my solution. Alright, and there are a lot of options available in here, like analysis service project, integration service project, report server project wizard, blah blah blah, but we are interested in only report server project. So I'm gonna hit OK and let me see what Visual Studio does for us, right? So as you can see here, we got the solution explorer, we got the project name, we got some 1 2 3, we don't know what, we just don't want to know what is that right now. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is, this is a wizard base report. So looking at the name, you can see we are going to add a report. So let's right click, add new item, and we're going to say by the way, we're gonna look at the things, what are the options available. We got like report wizard, we got report, we got data source and data set. I'm sorry. In the last videos you have introduced to all this new things which you have, so you might be a little aware of these things. If you're not, then this video will give you an idea. So I'm gonna choose a report wizard. Alright, so report wizard, and I'm gonna call this report as my first report. Alright, so let's add. Alright, and as soon as I add, I get a prompt, a wizard. I say next. Then if you remember the story, what we have told so far, so first thing, if I want to generate a report, I need to have two things in my hand. One would be the data source and second would be a data set. And the data source has a responsibility to connect to a server with the credentials, right? And data source is very much capable of doing a lot of, able to connect to a lot of databases, right? So I'm gonna call this database data source app first. Alright, so name is data source first. Now I have just given the name, so next time if I am referring to this name, so I already know where it connects. Then the important thing is connection string, which holds where exactly I'm connecting. So we know that we are going to connect to period / cool. So let's get down here, period / cool. And what authentication we are going to use is Windows authentication, so I don't need to put down my username and password. Test the connection, everything looks great, hit OK. So as soon as you do it, your connection string is ready. So now your database knows where we are connecting. Then I'm gonna hit next. Alright, now so our data source is ready. Next thing is a data set in which we are going to fill the data. So in order to fill the data into the data set, sometimes you directly get the data set, or you can use a query builder to fill your data, right? So query builder is something like, you can view the data, what exactly you want to see. So either now you can choose a right click to add a table. It will give you the list of tables which are there in the Northwind, right? So this is the Northwind we have and list of the tables we have, and you get the same look and feel. Or you can choose this button, add table from here, and we're gonna take the customers only for now. I'm gonna say add, I'm gonna say close, and I'm gonna say company name and contact name, and I'm gonna choose city. Alright, so I'm gonna choose these three things and I'm gonna execute and see if it works fine. And as you can see, we got like 91 records, but they are too much. So what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna change a query. As you can see, this is nothing but just a query which I'm executing here. So what I'm gonna do is like top 100, and no, this is 91 again, so I'm gonna say top 10 star, and I try to execute this thing. Let's see, and I continue. It looks like I got some error. So what is the error? Select top 10 star company name. What am I doing wrong? That's interesting. Alright, I got you. So actually I was doing a mistake. So now it's a top 10. Alright, so I got all the records which I. Sorry, I'm a little bad at SQL. I don't know much about the SQL, so this is what I know. Alright, so without any further ado, I'm gonna hit OK. So this is my query builder, and which has generated a query for me. I'm gonna hit next again, and it gives me an idea like how I want to show my reports. For now, I'm gonna keep it as tabular. I'm gonna continue hitting as next, and right now I've got three options like pages, group, and details. So I will not look for pages and group. We'll look into that for the later version. So right now I'm gonna hit detail thrice. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I got something. Hit finish, and the name of the report is first report. I'm gonna say finish, and we can see our report. So this is what our report looks like. This is a wizard based report. This is automatically generated. This is a design what we have. So you can change the name of this report as, you can call this report as jigsaw report. You can have the colors whichever you like. On the left hand side you got color combination. At the very same time, this is whole thing as a table. So like if you hold the table very correctly, and you can see like there are a lot of fields. On the left hand side again, you can see a lot of things. Parameters, images, we don't need to worry about that, but we are very much interested in data source. Remember the data source what we had defined, right? So this is what it is. If you want to change the properties and all, you can go to like data source properties and all. Then we have the data set. Data set is something like which we generated while doing the query, right? So I'm gonna choose the properties, and I don't like the name. This is the auto generated name, so I'm gonna rename this thing as the auto generated name. And if you see very carefully, this data set is using a data source in order to query, and the query type is text. You can have the tables, or you can have the stored procedures. You can do a lot of things in here. On the left hand side we got a lot of options. We're gonna discuss them in the next, but for now I'm just changing the names to it look more meaningful and look nice. And I'm gonna save this thing, and I'm gonna go to the preview which is next to design, and let's see. Alright, so we got 10 data. Oh, but they are very much congested. I don't like that. So let's hold the design. This is the way we hold. Let's stretch it a little bit out so it is very much stretchable. Save it again. Let's see the preview. BEA, beautiful. So I hope you got the idea, like how do you create your first wizard report using the SQL reporting service. It is very easy. The only thing, if you are capable of doing this, the only thing that remain is how to deploy the reports. Don't worry, I'm going to show you that as well, but for now let's stick to the basic. And in the next tutorial what I'm going to do is we are going to configure the data source and data set by ourselves manually. Alright, so thank you for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, and thank you once again.